Whew, E3 is officially over and I have been thoroughly exhausted, napping pretty much every day to try and catch up on lost sleep as I roll through my list of games that I saw, footage that I have to upload, and videos that I want to make. But new stuff keeps happening, and although the new game announcements are behind us, we have important updates to some things I think you guys will really care about. One of them directly impacting Sony's press conference reveals. But first, a brand new update on the Nintendo Switch stock shortage issue. This is something that I thought would slowly resolve itself as we rolled through the months of 2017, but apparently that's not the case. Even today, it costs $423 to get a Switch through Amazon, and most major retail stores are sold all the way out. That's going to continue, according to Daniel Ahmad, a video games industry analyst from Nikko Partners, primarily based in China and Southeast Asia, as he says that component shortages are capping production, and he expects the Switch shortage to continue throughout the rest of 2017, which is a major bummer, especially as Nintendo had a phenomenal showing at E3 and probably laid forward the best plan for the rest of the year in terms of a games lineup. Tons of first-party titles from Super Mario Odyssey to Xenoblade 2, Fire Emblem Warriors, Pokken Tournament DX, Splatoon 2, and more. It's going to be a great holiday season for the Switch, but it could be even better if they were able to get some actual units out there. Back in May, we heard that Nintendo wanted to up their production volume to 20 million Switches by the end of their fiscal year in March 2018, which would double their initial sales target of 10 million units, but the brakes were being pumped because of industry-wide shortages on NAND flash memory chips, liquid crystal displays, and the tiny motors that help make HD Rumble possible. They're battling with other corporations, primarily Apple, to hoard these parts and make their own personal product, but it seems like it's going to be tough, according to Ahmad. For me, it's a big bummer because I just want as many people as possible to be able to experience the Switch. They have so much good stuff going on at Nintendo right now. Zelda, Mario Kart, ARMS is awesome. Eventually Splatoon, Mario. It's a great platform. It is an innovative platform. It's an awesome hybrid as you can take it wherever you want. You can play it at home, but more people need to be able to buy this thing if they want it to turn into the true success that I think it can be. And clearly Nintendo thinks it can be, as they are shooting for more production. They just need to get the parts. Now, I said that since E3 week has passed, we're done with new game announcements. But what about old games made new announcements? It seems like that's just what we're getting with a standalone version of Modern Warfare Remastered. Someone got their hands on a boxed, sealed copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered standalone edition for PlayStation 4. Now, this has been rumored for quite some time, and we wondered way back at Infinite Warfare's launch when they would split these two up, and it seems like mid-year is the time to do it. Initially, it was rumored to be a June 20th release date, but that's like now, so I don't foresee a stealth drop happening. Instead, it looks like store computers are saying June 27th will be the release of Modern Warfare Remastered, and it's coming in at $39.99. A nice way to enjoy that game without having to invest in the Infinite Warfare world and without having to wait for the World War II world. I said at E3 that I thought that game really impressed the heck out of me, so I'm super pumped for it. I don't know if I'll pick up Modern Warfare Remastered as I had my fill back with Infinite Warfare, but this is a great way to prep the engines for the upcoming behemoth of a big release for Activision. Sony's press conference nailed it in terms of pacing and vibe. It was game. They didn't beat around the bush at all, but they also didn't include very many dates. They kept it pretty vague with an early 2018 release for God of War and just a generic 2018 for Spider-Man and the Shadow of the Colossus remake, and then some games like Days Gone and Detroit got no dates whatsoever, which was a bit of a bummer, especially since most of their lineup was a rehash from 2016. But alas, we have good news from PlayStation America head honcho Sean Layden, who says the stuff coming in 2018 is coming the first half of the year, which is awesome because I, for one, expected Spider-Man to be a late 2018 title. It sounds like instead it's going to be an early 2018 title, or at least a mid-2018 title. We know that God of War is their big one, so assuming that comes out in March, maybe late February, kind of like Horizon, that leaves May as a great month for Spider-Man. The next installment of the Avengers Infinity War hits on May 4th, so around there would garner a lot of attention and theoretically a lot of sales. But there could be the Red Dead Redemption 2 problem, which might make Sony move Spider-Man sometime a little earlier or sometime a little later. Then fitting in that Shadow of the Colossus redo, when could they put that? Where could it be? I don't think it matters as much, especially since this will probably be a more budget release. I'm guessing $40 for Shadow of the Colossus remake, and I'm hoping that it hits even before Spider-Man. Personally, for me, that's a huge relief. A lineup that includes God of War, Spider-Man, and Shadow of the Colossus, all for PlayStation, all before summer, is pretty darn stellar. A great way to start the new year. And after hearing from Shuei Yoshida that PlayStation has more exclusives waiting in the wings for future events, now hearing from Sean Layden that a lot of their stuff is coming early 2018, I feel a lot better because I wanted to love that conference much more than I did. I think they have an incredible lineup. I just wanted to know when it was coming, but I expect to get more of that from Gamescom and especially PlayStation Experience. Maybe we'll get the reveal of Sucker Punch's project. Maybe we'll get more Last of Us 2, but either way, it looks like 2018 is totally stacked for Sony, and we even have more games to hear about. All right, this is a super fun one for me because it's the top 10 games of E3 based on YouTube total views. YouTube calculated the views for over 200 games, compiled all the different videos, added them up, and then delivered a top 10 list. And I think it's pretty expected. There's a few surprises, but these only calculate views from June 9th to June 14th. So remember that. It's going to be important. I would think that the #1 spot would have gone to probably Super Mario Odyssey, just because the new capturing mechanic there with Cappy is a sight to behold and one you want to witness on video. Seeing Mario take over Goombas and bullet bills just looks much better than it even sounds. But alas, that is the #6 slot, and #1 is actually Star Wars Battlefront 2, which makes a whole lot of sense because it's a major property, a major franchise, and EA went first. Because this calculates views from June 9th to June 14th, you got to imagine that going Saturday gave EA a huge advantage. And regardless of what you think of their conference, they had 4 titles on this top 10. Battlefront 2, FIFA 18, Need for Speed Payback, and Anthem. Anthem is an interesting one because BioWare has had some bad luck recently with Mass Effect Andromeda, but they bounced back in a big way with what I think is the most jaw-dropping gameplay demo of E3 2017, and I hope that Anthem can come somewhere close to realizing the vision that they have set forth for us in those awesome videos. Assassin's Creed Origins takes the #2 spot right below Battlefront, which also is expected. That's a big new game from Ubisoft's biggest franchise. It's got a bold new setting. It debuted on Xbox One X. It looks fantastic. It plays pretty darn good, and I think it is going to get that franchise back on the right tracks. It's got a cool character, a great setting, and a big world. That is an expansive, awesome world that now has refined combat, added loot mechanics, and a whole lot of RPG explorative goodness. Call of Duty World War II creeps up there at #4, which is good. I love to see this doing well. I never want a franchise to die off, especially when you can tell the developer is invested in trying super hard to make something special. I feel like Sledgehammer is doing just that this year. Then you have God of War at the 5 slot, which is high for a game that didn't even get a true demo, but more of a trailer and not a whole lot of buzz. I feel like God of War went slightly under the radar. It's coming out early 2018, and it seems like Sony is going to blow that out at PSX. But shocking to me is that Spider-Man fell below God of War at #7. I would have expected, with all of the hoopla I see around the web crawler, Spider-Man to be in the God of War slot and God of War to be in the Spider-Man slot. But I guess #7 is solid for an exclusive from Insomniac for a superhero that isn't even coming out this year. After a double dose of EA, we have Dragon Ball FighterZ, or FighterZ, however you want to say it, rounding out the top 10, which is cool because that's a really pretty game that plays insanely fast and was absolutely epic to experience at E3. I think that's going to be one of the cool games that comes out early 2018. I'm crossing my fingers for a Switch version. They said it's possible if there's enough fan support, and I'm a fan definitely supporting that move. So if we look the whole thing over, I think Dragon Ball FighterZ has to be the biggest surprise, coming in at #10, and then for me, Mario dropping all the way to 6. I thought it would get more views than that. There was so much positive buzz, and that booth was absolute chaos, so I'm surprised to see Mario so low. I mentioned the God of War Spider-Man flip-flop, but I think the top 4 being Battlefront 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, FIFA 18, and Call of Duty makes a whole lot of sense. I'm looking forward to pretty much all of these games, although I think Need for Speed Payback benefits a lot more from the EA early thing than it does from being a truly awesome demo. Maybe the game will be great, but what they showed wasn't all that exciting. Finally, let's wrap everything up with a brand new game releasing this week. Actually, it's releasing like right now, but Nex Machina from Housemarque is a PlayStation downloadable exclusive that looks absolutely incredible. It's getting fantastic marks, and while you expect releases to slow down after E3, we got the incredible ARMS for Nintendo Switch, and now we're getting another could-be classic in the form of Nex Machina, which has an 89 on Metacritic, sitting pretty as one of the top downloads of the year. It is a fast-paced twin-stick arcade shooter with a whole lot of color and a whole lot of flair, as you've come to expect from Housemarque, and it seems like the perfect way to relax and rejuvenate after a very busy E3 week. I'm going to go download it right now, but let me know if you played it or you plan to pick it up in the comments down below. And also let me know what you think of the rest of today's stories, how you feel about that top 10 games of E3 based on views. Does that match your enthusiasm and excitement levels, or is that list all sorts of backwards? And are you super pumped for Modern Warfare Remastered Standalone on June 27th? How about Sean Layton confirming that Spider-Man will be coming in the first half of 2018? And what about the bummer of a stock situation for the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your take. For now, though, we are going to get out of here. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Hope you have an awesome rest of your week. Hope you have an awesome rejuvenation from E3. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. I love you. Drink so much chocolate, and we will see you all later.